I recently spoke to Sam Zhao. He's the director of the Center for China-U.S. Cooperation at the University of Denver. And I asked him about China's efforts to modernize its military.
I think that's a continuation of the China's military modernization program. In fact, the 8% increase is much smaller than earlier double-digit growth because the Chinese military started from very low base to modernize. In the last 20, 30 years, they have put into the military modernization a lot of resources, both for the weaponry, for the equipment, and also for the personnel. Although the overall number of the personnel has increased, but their salary and their other welfare has been increased. Also, they have built weaponry, built those equipments, especially when they talk about military modernization. They talk mostly to transform Chinese military from a land-based military to a modern military can fight wars in the ocean and also in the air. That requires a huge amount of money and a budget.
What would you say, though, is the big picture, the future of China's military?
I think China now has almost the largest military force, just next to the United States. China's Navy has gone all the way from coast fighting Navy to the blue water Navy to be able to fight wars not only on its coast, but also in the West Pacific and also far beyond, and to defend China's expanding national interests as a large trade state and with the shipments of a lot of export and import goods through the oceans. Really, China has to develop its naval force and modern military forces. So they need a lot of resources, and the military budget increase, I think, reflects the increase of China's war-fighting power.
As you know, here in the United States, the Trump administration recently called Russia and China its biggest threats to U.S. power and the primary focus of U.S. national security. So do you think China's budget increase is perhaps maybe a result of some of those statements?
I think that is related for sure, because for many years, the U.S. military budget has been not increased, but decreased. So from the military perspective, they really need to find some target or rival to justify their military budget increase. Trump came to office said peace through strength. So from the American military perspective, they find an ally in the White House. And also they need to have a target to justify their military budget increase. I think China and Russia provide those kind of ready targets when China is rising its military force and increase its military budget. And so that's why you see the American Strategic Security Report put China as a strategic rival and also revisionist power. In fact, the Defense Department report even put the so-called great power competition ahead of the terrorist threats to the U.S. security. I think those could make some sense in the context of China's military modernization. But also, I think from American domestic perspective, it's also a way to justify U.S. military expenditures